Hey, Crafting with Love, welcome in. Hey, Granny, welcome in. How are you? Oh, you're welcome, Crafting. So I came on here. I'm starting out late. I mean, I've been up for hours, but I just fixed my coffee, and so I figured I'd come on for a little bit. And I was gonna work on my blanket, but I'm into the color changing and all the counting and the graphs and all that, so I need to be able to focus. So I'm not going to be able to do that on here. And so I figured I'd come on and I'd do these and or finish this. This is the strap on that one bag that I was working on before I got sick a few weeks ago. So I gotta finish it. I gotta make the strap. And then I have this other one. I mean, not that I don't think I'll get to it today, but then on this one, I just have to finish going up the sides just to make it even like this. I have to do this side of the strap. I think on this one, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do the single crochet along the side or if I'm just going to leave the edging like that. I'm not sure. And then I'll have to make some shorts on those. But, and whenever I was doing this, my stitches were, I don't know what was going on with my hands, but my stitches are really tight. So I'm having to fight to like go into each single crochet in here. Like I'm having to like really push hard to make it into the stitch. But we'll work with it, right? It is very hard to focus while streaming, especially when you have to, like, well, I have a hard time even when I'm counting, but, the color change on the corner to corner, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to wind up messing it up. And because the graph is not, I'm not being able to mark it off easily. So I actually had to, like, try to write it out. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to be just a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm not going to. I probably should just be trying to finish out writing the rest of that graph because I think it has like 150, maybe more rows to it, and I'm just done writing up to 64. So I probably should be doing that so that I can work on it easier later on. But I figured, hey, come on, do a live, talk to some folks, right? But I'm having to really push into these stitches, and it's not like I'm easing up on them either because I don't want to make, I need to keep them looking the same, so I can't just loosen them up. Hey, Kelly, welcome in. Good to see you. Oh, you like the orange and yellow? It's pretty, isn't it? This is it's either the lily or the sugar and cream or the lily and cream one. I don't know which one it is. The cotton. I figure the cotton because it's going to make the bag hold much better. They turned out, I did the three of them, and they turned out nice. They turned out bigger, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and work on another one. And I got one that's really small, well, small for me for what I thought I was gonna make. So I need to. Then I made the other two, and they're much bigger. I still think I need a smaller one. Let's see, saying hi. Hey Tina, welcome in. Good to see you. You've had that color before. I love it. I love this color. This is the other bag that I made. It's I love that color too. I just think they're just so vibrant and pretty. That's the smaller of the three. I like them both, but I like the bright colors and the orange. Hey Lydia, welcome in. Good to see you. Hey Izzy, welcome in. Good to see y'all. I'm just experimenting with these daytime pop-ups, and I haven't figured out like a time, but it's kind of nice, because I take my time to like sit down and like enjoy my coffee. And so I'm thinking maybe if I can figure out a time. Of course, it's not always regular though. Like, I mean, I just do my coffee when I do my coffee. It's not always like a set time or anything like that. So I'd have to work on that, but I think it's pretty good to come on here, do a live, and you're just chit chatting with friends, and working on something that you love, or doing something that you love doing, and drinking your morning coffee. So I think it might work out for me. When I'm on with you at night, I'm drinking my nighttime coffee. I mean, not my nighttime coffee, my nighttime teas. So maybe daytime coffee should be a thing, right? Tina says, "Hey, Charlotte and Lydia. I am sad that you guys are 3 hours difference now." And Tina also says, "I am missing my favorite people." Hey, Manuela, welcome in. Y'all hear my voice going in and out. That's from working in the garden yesterday and the pollen. The pollen is insane out here. Well, Tina, I know we've missed you. I know I've missed you for sure. I just don't know where you've gone to. But I mean, I know, we all have lives and we all have things to do. I know you were sick there for a while. Yeah, it's 10:20 for me right now. You're allergic to pollen. I haven't been outside like out there working. So that's all it is. Once my system gets used to it, it'll be fine. Hey, Uncle Woman, welcome in. How are you doing? It's good to see you. It's really nice to see some of you that I haven't seen in a while. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate them. It makes YouTube send me to more people. That's always nice. I appreciate it, Crafting with Love. I always welcome new subscribers, new friends, right? trying to build a loving, encouraging, supportive community here. Kiwi's Crochet says, good morning, everyone. Welcome in, Kiwi. Granny says, so I didn't check my egg box yesterday. I got sidetracked and I'm out here now and I have 10 eggs over 2 days. I'm so happy. I am so happy for you. Told you those ladies would start working. They're working hard. They're working overtime now, aren't they? They're so happy there too. You can just tell. You're keeping them happy. They're keeping you happy, you know? They just needed a break during winter. That's what I tell mine in the winter. I'm like, y'all are freeloading, and I understand that, you know, it's not enough daytime hours, but when spring rolls around, y'all better work. Y'all better pick up with the slack. And they do. I love my chickens. 10 eggs. I'm so excited for you. Uncle Woman says, I'm fine. Gotta work today, but then yarn shopping with my buddy. Yarn shopping. I haven't bought yarn in, oh my gosh, I haven't bought yarn in a few weeks. I've done very well. Although I went to Ollie's looking to see if they had any yarn and they didn't have anything I liked. So, but yeah, that sounds like fun. Lydia says, I have different allergy symptoms. I can feel very yucky. Hello, Kiwi. Hey, Lydia. Let's see. Greetings, greetings. I am making a bag. So right now, what I'm working is on the handle, and then let's see. That's like the bottom of it, and then it's pretty big. This is the medium one. I have a small one. This is the medium, and then I have a large one. Whenever I get them done, I'm going to just do a little short on them. But I'm working on the handle now. I was trying to keep track of how many rows I was doing, but I forgot to push the little button, so I have no idea. I'm just going to go, I'll just look at it every few rows and see. I was going for 100, but I don't know. Because, you know, it stretches, so I may go shorter. Except I was working on this a few weeks ago, and my stitches were a little tight. So I'm having to push really hard to actually get into these stitches. But that's what happens if I start a project, because I started this like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so depending on how my hands are feeling that day, sometimes my stitches are a lot tighter than others. I work with it though. That's okay. Hey RTV, thank you. Greetings, greetings. I will be listening while getting ready for work. Okay, Tina, I appreciate you being here. I'd like to see a little bit more of you. Try to catch up, see what's going on in your life whenever you get a chance. I haven't bought yarn all year. Oh, that's really good. It is about time, isn't it? Do you know what kind of yarn you're buying, or are you just buying yarn, or is it for a specific project? Thank you for hitting the thummies. I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Granny says, yeah, they were just a couple of weeks late this year getting started, but they're getting older too. Yeah, I have so many eggs, but I don't really feel like preserving. So I made because I'll make like a big batch, like in the Instapot. I'll boil them, hard boil them. Um, well, I mean it's actually like pressure. It's done with the pressure, but um, I'll do them for the week, like hard boiled eggs, because on keto it's a really good snack, and then it's already done and you don't have to mess with it. So I did like 18 or 20 of them yesterday, and then I'm fixing to make some of I call them egg puffs. I don't know what they're called, but it's just, you scramble them and put them in like the muffin tins or cupcake tins, and you put, either bacon or ham or whatever, and a little bit of cheese or sausage or whatever. So I'm probably going to make those today or tomorrow because I have so many. I'll probably make a couple, and then I'll probably make like an egg bake, which is normally I'll do like eggs and then I'll add some almond flour, some cheese, and then sometimes I'll add a meat. Sometimes I don't, but I'll probably make one of those. And, a lot of that stuff freezes well, and then that way I don't have to worry about the eggs going bad. So, well, maybe I'll do it sometime this week because I'm not going to say I'm going to do it today because I spent a lot of time in the kitchen yesterday. And I got the dehydrator going with some dead nettle that was harvested. And he says, okay, getting older. Izzy says, how are you? I'm good, Izzy. How are you? Thank you for asking. Thank you, Uncle Woman. Uncle Woman, I'm sorry. I don't remember your name. I want to say it's Megan, but I don't want to call you the wrong name. I think it was Megan. I think. Just want pretty yarn, whatever speaks to me. Yeah, that's me most of the time. I do go out and intentionally buy yarn for like some things, but a lot of times I just buy the yarn that I want to buy and then I figure out what to do with it. Uh, to me, I am good with yarn. OMG, I need get with making hats, ear warmers, backpack, or bag for my laptop bags and toppers. Oh, you sound like you want to get busy there, Lydia. You've got a lot of things in mind. You have a lot of yarn. Yeah, that's good. It's good to have a lot of yarn. Granny says, my grandmother used to make those for me and my brother when we were little. It was our favorite thing to eat for breakfast. They're good, and they're healthy. And for keto, you know, it's just good to have on hand, and if I'm going out, well, and the hard boiled eggs, if I'm going out, so that we're not tempted to pick anything up or have to buy anything, I take my little cooler, drinks, hard boiled eggs, we're good to go, right? Let's see Lydia's weather. It didn't pop it up. Oh, Nightbot says error retrieving observations. I wonder why. Granny says, I like making frittatas with spinach, tomatoes, and sometimes feta. You know, I would say that sounds really good to have that for dinner tonight, but it won't be tonight, but maybe later on in the week because that would use up a lot of eggs and we enjoy breakfast for dinner. And that sounds really good. And I just bought a whole bunch of spinach and tomatoes. I don't really like feta. Lizzie says I'm doing okay. That's good. Good to hear. Yeah, I don't know, Lydia. I don't know why Nightbot's not retrieving it. I think that's the funnest way to shop for yarn. Find the ones you love and just something to do with it. I know, right? Granny, so yesterday after I got off of here, I went ahead and, well, I'm talking to Granny because she was here yesterday when I was talking about it, but it goes out to everyone. Um, I went in there, worked on the cabbage, worked on the eggs, and and I say worked on the eggs because it sounds like, oh yeah, you're just putting eggs in the Instapot, but since they're home, backyard eggs, you have to clean them really well, and so washed out all of the eggs and how many eggs did I wash? Like 48 of them maybe, and did the hard boiled and then cooled them off and dried them off and put them in the fridge. Got the cabbage in there with in the roaster. My goodness, that um, I was gonna say pork roast, the corned beef and the cabbage, delicious, so good. So of course I have leftovers, so that's probably what we'll eat tonight and tomorrow. But anyway, after I got that done, I went outside and I gardened for a little bit. So I didn't work on the bed that I was going to do to put the peas in because once I got out there, my grapevine is on that fence where I was going to put it on. And I'm like, the grapes are just going to like, those, it's just going to cover it up. It's not going to let the peas do any good. So I had to change plans, right? Very quickly change plans. And so then I went to the other side of the garden and then I'm like, I'm going to have to reach over and then my peppers and tomatoes are going to cover it and I'm not going to be able to get to the peas, right? So I'm like, okay. I had in the garden, I have a whole bunch of grow bags, but already set up in the garden were 5. So I went ahead and weeded. Well, I say weed because, it's not weed coming from the ground, but it's the seeds that come off of other things and then they just grow in the bag. So I had to go ahead and clean all those out and fertilize them. But I got 5 grow bags of peas planted yesterday and then everything watered. And then so today, I think I don't really want to commit to anything, but I think I'm gonna work in get some seed. I just looked out my window. I just turned to the left. I'm gonna look out my window, and there's that squirrel I was telling you about just coming down the tree. Oh, I don't like it. But I think I'm gonna go in the garage and work on starting some tomato, pepper, and squash. I don't know. I'd have to look to see how many. I know I have a whole bunch of cushaw and candy roaster seeds. I don't know if I have like just like I don't know. I'd have to see what I want to plant anyway, because I do think I have a whole bunch of seeds, of squash seeds, but I try not to plant them. I try to plant like the different, not varieties, but is it species, genetics? I don't know, but I try to do them differently so that they don't cross pollinate and stuff like that. So I'll have to see which ones I'm going to put out there. But I definitely know I want to do the cushaw, and I know I want to do the candy roaster. Definitely the Romanesco. Well, the Romanesco is the zucchini. The which one am I thinking of? The Rampicante, but what is it called? Tromboncino. Yeah, so the Tromboncinos, because those do well, even with the squash vine borers. So I'm gonna. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking to do. I mean, if I don't do it today, I'll definitely do it soon. Let me look at the chat. Got cheese. Good morning. Why won't you eat corned beef and cabbage, Lydia? Granny says one of my favorite meals. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, we're just doing those grow bags yesterday. I did them relatively quick, so that was nice. But I was just looking around at the garden, and it's just because it's such a mess in there. It's like so overwhelming, you know? It's like, oh, and I get that feeling like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to work in here. But then, I'm doing it just a little bit at a time, just a little bit at a time. Because normally I do like marathons, and then I'm just like so over it. But so I've done good. I mean, I've got a lot accomplished in just working just a little bit at a time. So I think that might be my new thing for in the garden. Hey, Abria, welcome in. Lydia, why won't you eat corned beef and cabbage? I'm curious. Guys, if you're in here and you are not subscribed, would you go ahead and click that subscribe button and the notification bell and the thumbs up? I'd appreciate it. Feel free to join any of my other social medias as well. I think Nightbot drops my Linktree link every once in a while. Thank you, Bria. Appreciate it. Granny says I looked for the Tromboncinos. Oh, the Tromboncino. Well, I think you got it. The you said it yesterday. That Rampicante. I can't remember. That's the actual like official name, but that's the Tromboncino, right? I'm not mixing that up. I'm pretty sure That's correct. When I was getting seeds and couldn't find it. So yeah, the rompicante, that is the tramontino. Overwhelming is an understatement. Believe me, I'm right in thick of overwhelming with my garden right now. So I do get what you're saying. I know, right? And it's like I look at it and I'm like, I don't like. I know I don't want to mess with it. So that's why I'm like. So instead of like, I'm not even. I don't know that I'm even gonna prepare like a whole bit at a time. I may prepare like a section at a time, just so that I'm not, so that I can still do it and maybe not get discouraged. Well, because I've been discouraged with that garden for a while now. I've been talking about that since what, October, November? So, but my lemon balm, but but some of it, so like my fennel, like I just trimmed down my fennel, which I didn't do, last year. But I just cut it down, left like just a few inches up from the ground. And so that's um, one of them. I can't remember. I have two different kinds. One of them was already coming up, so I left that one alone. But the other one, so those are start coming in pretty soon. But my lemon balm's looking pretty good. Just starting to wake up. Probably just, I don't know, a few inches tall. Um, I have a whole. I need to edit that video and post it so that you can see what I'm talking about. But my parsley is looking fabulous. And then all the greens, I think I'm about to, whenever I work on one of those beds, I think all the greens, I'm going to go ahead and pull everything out, give it to the chickens, what's left of like past years, and then replant all new. But I mean, a lot of my lettuce is still like coming in strong. I really do. I wish I could find more of the foods that perennials, that would just keep coming back year after year, like my fennel, my lemon balm, parsley. What parsley does like 2 years and then it's got to go. Is that right, Granny? I'm not a big parsley grower. I mean, it's out there and it looks fabulous, but I think after this year, because that's the one from last year, this year I have to, at the end of this year, I have to compost it, right, and plant new one next year, or no, Granny? That's not a perennial, is it? Parsley? With all the construction going on in my garden, I feel like I'm missing the best days of gardening because it's so cool and nice out. In another month or two, it's going to be awful hot and miserable. I know, right? Now it's like the perfect time. But, like Mona said last night, like you're starting things inside, you're starting some of your flowers, you're doing all that. So, I mean, you're still getting stuff done. And even though you're not garden, like you're not doing most of your gardening outside, you're still like you're staining and you're painting and actually getting the, like you are working on the garden. So you're getting a lot accomplished to make it a more beautiful and productive garden. So I think you're doing great. Uncle Woman, I need to get my herbs, lettuce, and carrots planted. Uncle Woman, you said you were Chuck? Is that what you? I think that's what I read up top. I forgot I saw it though. What kind of herbs do you plant? Lettuce and carrots. I know. My carrots, I put carrots out this Saturday and I just broadcasted them. I just threw them out there, watered them, and hope for the best. If they come out, they come out. If they don't come out, then I'm okay with that too. Because on the keto, we don't eat very many carrots, so I'm not really stressing out about it. I like to grow things, and if we don't eat them, I gift them, and also the chickens love them. Hey, Ansel, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you. Uncle Woman says, I haven't gardened in many years. I'm excited to get started again. I have to plant mingled with my shrubs and flowers. It'll be a new experience for me. What kind of, well, I think I asked that already, the herbs. I love planting my herbs. Well, and what's good with a lot of the, well, not a lot, but some of the herbs is that they are perennials, and they keep coming back year after year. So it's plant them once and then you just water them, watch them grow, harvest them, and use them. Yeah, Chuck, okay. I will probably forget though, unless I talk to someone practically every day. I forget. I fed my chickens half of my bolted cilantro. The rest I'm saving for seeds. My cilantro, I've always like had problems growing my cilantro. And cilantro is relatively easy to grow. But for some reason, I've just always had issues with it, right? But last year, man, it took off. It's not there now. I think when I did the video on Saturday, I don't remember seeing cilantro. Yeah, I like feeding them herbs too, like oregano. My oregano grows like a lot, and which I still, even though it does really well, I still want to plant. I think I might plant. I don't know how it'll do in a grow bag though, because it grows. Well, you might know, but just because it likes to grow so big, like it just continues. Maybe it would do good in a grow bag because, it just continues to grow. So I gave it a little section in my bed. I started like in 1 square inch and it's taken, I think it's up to like 4 square inches now. So it just continues to grow. So I wonder how it would do in a grow bag because my birds like oregano and I like to put oregano because of the bugs and stuff. Like I like to put oregano and lemon balm in their nesting boxes. So I could definitely use more oregano. And I use a lot of it because I use it in spices and maybe one day I will try this oregano tea. And so I'll use it even more. Granny says, hey Ansel, welcome in. I think I already said that. Welcome in. I don't know, Jackie. I've never grown parsley with any interest. I grew it for decoration. Oh, okay. Well, it's doing really well out there. I guess I'll have to, I probably have it in my notes, but You know, I grow so many things that I can't, it's not all in my brain, you know, like I probably have the knowledge, but I can't recall the knowledge because it's just so much. So, but it's probably in my notes. Because I want to say parsley is, I don't know. I don't think it's a perennial. It might be though. I mean, I guess it depends in your area. No, I don't think it is. I need to get rosemary. Oh wait, I skipped. One woman says, "Oh gosh, thyme, oregano, basil, sage, parsley, cilantro." Y'all, I have been unable to grow sage. I need to look out there and see because when I was out there on Saturday, I thought something looked like sage, but it wasn't labeled. I've tried to grow sage several years now, and I have not been able to get it to grow. And I even got a sage plant, I believe, last year at, you know, at the store and planted it, and it didn't succeed. But I haven't been able to get rosemary to grow from seed either, so I've got a rosemary plant and planted, and it seems to be doing well. Yeah, I need to plant some thyme. I think basil's not a perennial either, so I'm gonna have to I plant like half a bed of basil. I love basil. Sage, cilantro, yeah, those are all good herbs. Granny says, how about some asparagus that lasts almost forever? Yeah, I had some asparagus in the very back of the property, and um, something kept eating it. You know, the animals around here don't know how to behave. Um, so then I moved it closer, and I only planted, I started them from seed though too, because you know you can get the root, the ones in the back I had where I had gotten the crowns or whatever they're called, you know, that you make the little ditch or whatever, and then you plant them and do all that. That's what I did in the back. And I mean, I planted a whole bunch, and some of them did okay, and some didn't. The ones I started last year, I started them from seed in the house, and they got really big really quick, and then I planted them out there. And when I was out there on Saturday, I was like, oh my gosh, so we do have asparagus. We harvested some asparagus, and so that's doing pretty good. But I need to get it a bigger area. I don't know, I might make that bed, just put asparagus and then like sunflower seed or my sunflower plants, because that's where the my grapevine is, on along that fence. So maybe I'll put more asparagus out there. I don't know. I'm not a big asparagus eater though. We did. I didn't even know that that had come in, which I mean it is a time for it, but when we went to the store this weekend, I did get a couple packs of asparagus. And then when I was out there, I was like, "Oh, we got some," which it wasn't a huge amount, but yeah, because asparagus will keep coming for you for like what, like 20, 25 years, and it needs almost nothing. Like it doesn't need to be taken care of very much. I'm doing all this talking and I'm forgetting to like drink my coffee. Got a mess going. But yeah, asparagus is one of the ones that I want to get going. I guess I just like the front better. It maybe it just didn't like the back, or maybe the I don't know what was eating it. Do deer eat asparagus? I don't know, because that's the only thing that I could think of that would be way back there that would want to eat something like that. I don't know. One call woman said I need to get a rosemary. I may ask a neighbor if I can get a cutting from theirs. Yeah, right. Just get a cutting, put it in some water, let it root. Granny says, thanks for saying that, Jackie. I think I needed that little boost. You're welcome. That's what we're here for. Uncle Woman says, you can call me Long or LCW. I just don't share my legal name on YouTube. Oh, okay. Long works for me because it's nice and short. I love potatoes and carrots, but don't know if I'll do potatoes yet. Probably do a lot of legumes to get the soil doctored up. I have a lot of leaf mold. I need manure. You know, it's so interesting to me that I got all kinds of stuff charging over here, but yet I didn't turn the power strip on. So everything was plugged in, but not really charging. So interesting that we all came here because of our crafting, but yet so many of us actually garden, you know? That's so interesting to me. I think it's so cool. Continue. Oh, I missed a lot. Okay, I need manure. So Long, what grow zone are you in? Okay, I asked and there it is. I live in Texas, so the summer is hard to grow in the heat. So you're like what, 7B or 8A? I'm 8A. I love tomatoes and peppers, summer squash, but I don't have a lot of room. I just need to supplement my groceries. Peppers will grow good in a grow bag. Peppers don't require a lot of room to grow. Granny says I always plant my cilantro when it first starts to turn cooler outside, and it will grow all winter long up until about now, and then it starts to bolt within days. See, I planted my cilantro that I did last year. I think I planted it in February or March. So I think I might be a little late already, but I'm probably going to throw some cilantro seeds out there because we love cilantro and the birds love it too. Drinking some of that coffee. And coffee, crochet, and chat, right? But I'm just crocheting and chatting, not drinking my coffee. But even now, when I think about it, like when I want to start in the garage, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's going to be so much work. Like I'm going to make such a mess. Like, but I think I just need to get over it, you know? Just like, because I do, like, I dread it sometimes, but I really love it, you know? Like, I really enjoy gardening. It makes me feel really good. It makes me happy. But when I sit here and I think about it and like all the work and everything, like I talk myself out of it, and then I'm just, well, the weeds and the bugs really, I dislike that, you know, that makes gardening not fun. But I mean, overall, it's fun. It's the bugs and the weeds that I don't like. With cilantro, golf course. Yes, it does continue to grow, and be careful. It's kind of like mint, it'll take over. What does? The parsley? I'm gonna wait for you to answer that, Granny, because it's in one of my beds. Like my mint is in a container, and it's in a big. I don't know how big the container is, but it's a really big container. So actually I have two different containers of mint. Um, and because I didn't want them taking over my bed, because lemon balm takes over your bed too. But so far I've kept it to where it hasn't taken it over. But my parsley is in a bed, and it is there's a lot of it out there, and I didn't plant that much of it. I just googled it. Parsley is a biennial, and it grows one season and then it flowers the next and then it dies off. So like I'll be able to harvest now, but then sometime this season it's gonna, like, towards the end of the season, it'll flower and die off. Okay, I said season by mistake. Replace the word with year in the above comment. Okay. Good morning, beautiful people, says Renee. Welcome in, Renee. Good to see you. What are you up to? I cannot believe you got to meet, uh, oh, his name just escaped me. Trejo. Cannot believe it. And to get a picture with him. I told hubby. He's like, no way. I'm like, yes. Because when we were in California, like, I didn't even think about it. Before we went, I was like, oh my gosh, like I would love to go like to his food truck and like maybe meet him, like that would be awesome. But then when we were there, we didn't even think about it. I don't know where you met him. I can't remember what you said. Hopefully it wasn't one of his trucks, because then I'd be like, God darn, we should have done that. Hey Sonas, welcome in. Good to see you. Granny says, I've got a rosemary bush. That's no way. I didn't know they got that big. I have mine just planted in one of the beds, which whenever I post this video and you'll see it, the where I have the rosemary, those beds right there were older beds, and on the ends they have wood, and the wood is just falling apart. But I have other beds that I got to replace those, but because we didn't work on that in the winter, now we're hoping that these beds will go ahead and last us another year. I mean, they will last another year, but hopefully they won't like completely break down between now and then. But I have the rosemary there, and then it's definitely going to have to get moved or transplanted when we get rid of these two beds. We probably should. I don't know that we'll get rid of them. Maybe we'll just, where we have wood, maybe we'll figure out a way to put metal, whatever the other kind of, whatever it's made of. Because I like them. I don't really want to get rid of them, but yeah, the wood is all messed up. And I mean, I guess we could replace it with more wood, but I mean, that wood didn't last, but I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, not very long. So I don't want to like do that again. So we'll see. But because I don't know what we're going to do with those, they'll definitely just be taken out of there, and then we'll just put the new ones that we did get for there, and then we'll just worry about the other ones at a later time. But so yeah, that rosemary will have to. Do you grow your rosemary in just the regular, like in the ground, or is it in your bed or a container, or because like I said, the rosemary that I have is just one that we bought at the store because my other ones have died, and anytime I try to grow them from seed, it doesn't work. And my sage, I can't get my sage. Sage just does not want to grow for me at all, regardless. Seed, store bought, it just doesn't work. Renee, hi, mine, welcome in. Good to see you. Renee says today will be easier than yesterday. More state testing for the boy. Ugh. Okay. Hey, Rosalie, welcome in. I hope you're feeling better. Granny says, I have a shady spot in the yard and I'm thinking about putting a grow bag full of cilantro in that shade and see how long it'll last through the summer there. I think it'll definitely do better than in full sun. You know, the heat. I did, the cilantro that I've been planting for years is like the regular cilantro, but then I think last year, and I can't remember if it was the year before that or just last year, I got some slow bolt cilantro, and I don't remember if it was from M.I. Gardner or from Baker Creek, but that cilantro did really well. Yeah, that oregano, oh, were you talking about the oregano and not the parsley a little while ago? It was oregano. Yeah. Well, my oregano, yeah, like I said, I planted it with one square, and it's fine if it continues to grow where it's at. But and I think it's got like it's taken over like 4 squares now. But um and it's fine. And it's in one of those one of the beds that we have to replace. So when I move it from there, I may put it like in a really big grow bag because I do like growing it. Oregano will take over. I got a lot of rosemary and lavender. I went to a strawberry container workshop on Saturday. Rosemary and lavender. You know, I have a really hard time growing lavender. I have tried. It's kind of like with sage. I don't know, maybe y'all know, but you know, I've tried lavender from seed. That's just a lost cause. That's just not going to happen. I've tried that for like 5 years. But then I buy lavender and it'll do good for, a few weeks after I get it home, and then it just dies. So like same, that happens to me every time with lavender and sage. So I don't know. Strawberry container workshop. So did what is a strawberry container workshop? Long says, Granny, which side of the Gulf are you on? Granny says, South Mississippi, so I'm on the north end of the Gulf. I said golf, 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 golf. Gardening zone 9A. Yeah, you're a lot hotter. But sometimes it acts like 8 and sometimes it acts like a 10. The French lavender likes water. Some other ones like more dry soil. I don't remember. I think I've had Spanish and French, I think. But I don't know. Renee, are they perennials or not? Well, like in zone 8A, because for you they might be, since you have good weather. Rosemary can turn into a hedge if you plant enough of them together. Okay, so maybe I just need to, well, I can propagate what I have out there and then just plant some more. I might do that. I probably won't do that though till we get ready to move that bed. But then it's going to be cold because that'll be at the end of this year. No, I have to plan that out. See, I overthink things and then I talk myself out of them. Renee says they have the stackable planters, and we talked about the different kinds of strawberries. We planted 2 tiers of them, but you can stack them a lot higher. I've never grown strawberries. I was going to try last year, but I didn't. I'd love to grow them though. I mean, I like to eat them. They grow all year. Okay. I don't know. I don't know why I can't get them to grow. Because like I would like to have a lot of lavender so I can harvest it and, do all like the medicinal stuff with it and the tinctures and the teas and, all the things and for like my soap making, but it just doesn't work for me. Every year, either from Lowe's or from Home Depot, I pick one or two up. And I mean, they'll flower, but it's not enough to like harvest, I just let them look pretty and then they die. Granny says, have you heard that old saying regarding planting that says the first year they sleep, the second year they creep, and the third year they leap? That applies to rosemary. Huh. So this year's going to creep, and then I'm going to transplant it at the end of the year, and so this, is it going to leap or is it going to sleep again? And most perennials. I don't know. My perennials have done well. I guess I compare my perennials to my lemon balm and my mint, you know, and my fennel, like those, they took off like from the start. There was no sleeping, there was no nothing. They germinated and they've been going strong. Rosemary grows wild here. Nice. And no, Granny, I hadn't heard that. I don't hear a lot of sayings. You've got them all. I have none. I have, oh, I have planted those, and they do come back every year. The lilies, but I don't know what those bulbs taste like because not my squirrels, but the squirrels that invade my property dig them out and take bites out of them. Is that not ridiculous? As big as my hand growing, and the birds of paradise is blooming like crazy. Birds of paradise, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Everything is covered in pollen now from the pines. Yeah, the pollen, that's at the beginning of the live. That's what I was saying. My voice was like going in and out, and I'm like, it's because I was out there yesterday and the pollen is insane. Birds of paradise. I'm gonna look that up really quick. Ooh, how pretty. Oh my goodness, it looks like a hummingbird. I don't think that would grow here. Oh, I love that. It says it's easy to grow, especially in warm climates. I mean, it's warm here, but I mean, it does freeze. It probably wouldn't do well. Granny says, after using wood for the past 15 years for my garden beds, one thing that I've learned is that if you plant it, it will last longer. I've gotten 5 years out of the painted. Oh, if you paint it, it'll last long 5 years here in this crazy weather. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna use um wood for the beds anymore. Well, and everything in the garden, nothing in the garden has wood. Wood. It was just these last two beds that I have that where the ends are wood. Um, and like I said, I already have the replacement for those. My rosemary is in the ground on the northwest side of the house. So yeah, so when I get ready to move it, who knows? I may move it this year. Find a good spot for it, northwest side of the house. So not in the south. It doesn't like the sun. My rosemary gets about 5 hours. It's like you answer you. It's like you know what I'm going to ask and you answer it before I even ask it. Awesome. Gets about 5 hours of full sun every day. Long says, Granny, what kind of paint do you use? Do you paint all the sides like inside and out? Good question. Renee says, I make herbs with lavender and other herbs. It is heaven on chicken or veggies. I've looked, I buy it at the store. I haven't made it. But I think I've looked at the ingredients and um, I think I grow everything in there. Well, I don't grow the lavender, obviously. But yeah, I love it. Like when I used to make like my like sourdough crackers, or like the sourdough bread. Oh my gosh, it is like it takes it to a whole nother level. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. But I'm missing. I don't grow something that goes in it. I'd have to go back in there and look at the ingredients because a little jar is like I think it's like $5 or $6 or something like that. And I'm like, the herbs grow so easily, so it's like I could just easily make this, and not spend that money. But I haven't made my own. But if you make bread, yeah, you should try it in bread. It's really good. Daisy says, I am in a mood today for some reason. A good mood, a bad mood, a lonely mood, a sad mood. What kind of a mood? Granny says, Long, I just used regular house paint and only the outside, maybe the very edges, but anywhere where the food soil touch, I did not paint. Okay, good to know. Long says, Granny, okay, thank you so much. Do you think the color is important? Granny says, Long, I never thought about it if the color was important, but I bet if you did red and yellow and orange, the pollinator might come. Huh, maybe, right? Long says, Renee, yum. Renee says they need lots of water with drainage and fertilizer. Okay. I assume you're talking about the lavender, right? Because that may be, maybe that's my fault. Maybe I need to water them more, which just means that I'll probably go out and buy more lavender. I probably will. I'll probably buy lavender and sage like I do every year because every year I'm like, maybe this year it'll work, and if I can get them to last a year, then I'm like, they'll be strong, they'll be hardy, they'll last. So, lots of water, drainage, and fertilizer. I did mine with leftover paint and they were light blue and gray. Trying to plant lavender where I live is a joke. They do not like it here. I can't even grow it in the house. I wonder why, right? Renee says, I grew up on a cattle ranch and learned to grow anything and everything. That's awesome. Long says, Granny, all right, I have a lot of wood and paint I need to put to use. Renee says, I learned to grow orchids from a class in college. Yeah, I had an orchid. I was gifted an orchid like 5 years ago. And I had it at home for hmm, a few months. And then it died. It was so pretty. It was beautiful. It just died. I think it needed way too much care than I could give it. Long says, Renee, any ideas for edible flowers since my food has to grow with the ornaments? I thought, edible flowers. Granny says, I just boiled up 6 of my chicken eggs and now I'm eating 2 for breakfast. Yum. Renee says, nasturtiums is my favorite edible flower. Yeah, I grow those too. They're so good in salad, or even like when I'm working out in the garden, I'll just go ahead and just get some and just eat them while I'm working out there. You can also eat dandelion. Dandelion, though, that's not a huge fan. I mean, I use it for like medicinal, but not a huge fan of just eating it. Izzy says I'm in a bad mood. It's a lot, but not happy mood. I'm sorry to hear that. Renee says even rose and pansies are edible. And I can't think of any right off of the top of my head right now long, but I have a little in my little case where I have all my edible flowers because everything that I plant, I'm not going to say everything, but I would say probably 99% of what I plant has to have a use, whether it be medicinal or like edible. Like I don't, I'm trying to think of what I have planted or what I grow that's just for its beauty. And I'm sure there's probably like 1 or 2 flowers, but the majority are all edible. And nasturtiums, they will grow. They like to grow. I think bachelor button, I think is one of the ones that I grow that's not edible. I don't think it's edible. If it is edible, I don't believe I've ever tasted it. But I grow them because the hummingbirds really like it. So I do grow the bachelor's button for that. Renee says, Izzy, when I feel like that, I go outside or go to the library. Just a change of environment can really help. That's good advice. She says, I might go drive to the beach. Yeah, take a nice walk in the beach. Granny says, maybe this is the year. I say that every year with beets. I love beets and I want to grow them so badly, but all I ever get is the beet greens. You know, now that you say beets, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I planted those things on Saturday. Beets was one of the things I wanted to get because it was basically everything I put out there was root veggies. And, well, I put some chard out there, but I forgot about the beets. There's so much more planting I got to do though, but the beets should really be in the ground. I like the beets for coloring in the soap or like coloring in like my food, you know? Granny says for beauty, I grow roses, zinnias, and sunflowers, but they also are great for the pollinators. Oh, I missed Michelle. Hey, Michelle, welcome in. Good to see you. Why do my eyes do that? They just like jump all over the place. I just skip. If it wasn't for where I saw, hi, Michelle. Yeah, Renee, I would have missed it. Oh, you make soap too? don't know, I think maybe a little bit longer. I don't even know what the weather is here. I mean, it's not sunny out there. Let me look real quick and see what it is. Because if I go out, really don't feel like going out there though. Oh, it is 60 degrees. It says it's sunny. Maybe it's on the other side and I just can't see it. So 60 degrees. The high today is 70 with a low of 37. Hmm. I don't know. I may go out there and work on that one bed, like clean it up, the one I was going to work on yesterday, or at least on half of it, because that one's 16 feet long. 16 feet, 20? I think it's 16. I don't remember. 16 or 20. So that's a long one. But at least if I could just work on some of it, right? I don't have to get it all done right now. I could just do one square if I wanted to. Y'all, well, no, y'all wouldn't be able to tell me in this chat. I'd have to watch a video, but it just doesn't sink in on how to prune my grapes. And it might even be too late to prune them. I mean, they're not leafing out or anything yet, but I mean, it's so close to spring. But the vine, well, the vines or the branches or whatever you call I don't think they're vines on the grapes, the arms that grow out. Um, Golly, that goes along that bed. So they are, they're like 16 or 20 feet long. Like, I know I have to prune them. I just don't know how. And I watched the video and it's almost like they're talking a different language. I mean, they're speaking English, but it's like for whatever reason, I don't comprehend. And then when I do think I comprehend what they're telling me to do, I go out there and then I'm looking at the different, I call, they're not tendrils. Um, but yeah, then I go out there and look and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it I'm supposed to cut? Like, where am I supposed to cut it? And they do a really good job at explaining it. It just doesn't stick, it's like knitting. It just doesn't stick for me with the grape. And they haven't produced very many grapes. And I'm hoping that this is the year, but it probably won't be the year if I can't prune it back like I'm supposed to. And I don't know, can I even prune it back this late in the year? Like, I don't know. I don't know. 46. That seems really low for California. That seems about right for Wisconsin. I got a few more rows to go, and I got a little bit more coffee to go. And then I'll have to decide if I'm going to go in the garage and work on starting the tomatoes and peppers and squash, or if I'm going to go out there and work on that bed. I don't know. Trying to think which one's easier. I don't have to worry about dinner because we got the corned beef and the cabbage, which is absolutely delicious. So the only thing I have to do in the kitchen is work on recipes for those eggs so that they will be preserved and I can just freeze whatever I make with them. But I can do that later after it gets dark. Like I could also work in the garage after it gets dark, but I can't work out there on the bed after it gets dark. So maybe the bed it is, and maybe I go out there and get some daylight and some sun. And because I haven't worked outside, I did on Saturday and I did yesterday for a little bit, but haven't been out there as much as I normally am this time of year. So maybe my body is wanting that. Definitely needs it. Get me some natural vitamin D instead of my vitamin D supplement. Greetings, greetings. Long says 64 here. Yeah, so your weather's kind of like mine. Granny says, as long as the buds aren't budding on your grape, there's nothing. It's just the little branches. It's still okay to prune it. And I would just get rid of dead wood. No, I don't. Haha, Granny, good question. No, I don't like warm coffee. I drink iced coffee. And yeah, it still has ice in it. But even if I was drinking hot coffee, um, I put it in my Arctic cup or in one of my other like insulated cups, and it keeps for like 6 hours, 8 hours. Like sometimes I have to like leave them open so that it'll actually cool so that I can drink it. But it's very rare that I drink. I mean, I will drink hot coffee, like if it's really cold outside, but most of the time it's iced even when it is cold. I just enjoy it better when it's iced. I don't like hot drinks. The only thing that I like hot is hot chocolate. Like I like my drinks iced. Um, kind of like iced tea. So like even like my nighttime teas that I make, like my hibiscus and lemon balm and all of that. Of course I brew them hot, but then I brew them with a small quantity of water and then I add the rest of it with cold water and then I ice that. Long says I live in North Central Texas. Renee says the something like a panthus. Panthus? I don't know what that is. Will bloom soon. My back. I wish you would do a video showing all your stuff. I would love to see all the beautiful flowers and have you talk about them a little bit. I haven't been on your channel in a few days, but I was trying to comment on something. I don't even remember what was not. All your comments were off. I don't know if they're still off or not. My backyard has them all around the perimeter. They look like Dr. Seuss flowers. And Michelle says, sounds beautiful, Renee. Renee says, wish you lived closer, Michelle. Take a trip, Michelle. It's beautiful out there. Michelle says, I'm hoping some green appears here before May. Michelle, do you plant anything? Do you garden at all? Pretty flowers or herbs or Granny says, well, that explains the coffee question. Renee says, that's a good idea to do a, yeah, it is. I think you should. A lot of us would watch it. Try to fix that. I'll check it. I mean, you may have already. Like I said, I haven't been in a while. I can't even remember what it was I watched, but I wanted to comment, and I was like, oh well. And then I meant to tell you somewhere, but then that thought was gone, and I'm surprised I just remembered now. So all I need to cut is, but Granny, it all looks like dead wood to me. Just like my fig trees, that I have in those grow bags. I don't know what to prune on it. I mean, I pruned it last year and it gave us figs, but I don't think I pruned it properly. So it's just like, ugh. Because the grape was just something new that, I wanted to try. So was the figs. The figs are still in grow bags because I wasn't sure how they were going to do with the cold, and I didn't want to put them in the ground. But I mean, they seem to be doing okay. They're staying relatively small though. Like they're only, well, I mean, the bag, they're in 20 or 25-gallon bags, and they're from the soil to the top. I think they're only like 3 feet, maybe 4 feet, something like that. But they'd probably be doing better if I pruned them, but I don't know. They're just staying alive. They're just being lucky. They must really want to survive, just like that grape, because I don't know what I'm doing with them. I just like, I want this, and then I'm trying. And I mean, I do try to learn, but sometimes it just doesn't happen for me, and sometimes it just doesn't stick. That's it. I'm crafting with yarn. Shop this link. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like I said, I think it all looks like, well, it's not dead wood, I guess. I don't know. But I need, yeah, because there's nothing budding, so I need to definitely go out there. And can I just cut back? Can I just like, can I cut too much on that grape? Or you think just, because I know you're supposed to leave like 2 of the branches, and then I'm not even going to keep talking because I don't know. And Granny, it hasn't been 2 hours. Close, but not there. Because when I made my coffee and I sat down, that's when I was like, oh, yep, I'm going to go ahead and click on here. Well, initially I grabbed the blanket, but then I was like, no, I am not going to be able to focus on that, and I'm going to mess it up. And to tell you the truth, like, I want to go do the gardening stuff, but then I also just want to like sit here and just crochet and like finish this bag and then finish the side handle on that other bag. just so that I can have finished projects. But then I talk myself out of doing that because I'm like, I can do that anytime when the gardening, has time limits. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, thorns in the garden from weeds. I don't even know what kind of weed or whatever that was, but got scratched up. And I got liquid band-aid on there, just where I got cut. Oh, about the grapes, you don't know? I have some, it's the same thing because I've got the grapes going and I also have um, muscadines. And I don't know, I may have to move the muscadines because, they say so that they don't cross pollinate, you have to put them like however many feet apart. And so where I have the muscadines, it doesn't get a lot of sun and it's not doing as good as the other one, as the grapes. But I haven't cut that one either. But I think both of those get cut the same. So I don't, and I'd say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and watch another video, but it's not, maybe this time it'll stick. I crack myself up. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating when like you want to like learn how to do something and you watch and watch and you watch and you still it's like you just don't get it. And it's not like it's hard, you know? I think it's because I'm afraid that I'm going to kill my plant, right? I think that has to do with it. And I know that some people don't cut them back at all. They just let them go wild, but I definitely don't need them going wild. But I don't know, maybe I should just leave them. Yeah, I don't know. But then again, one of the reasons I did plant those is because, the muscadines and the grapes, they'll be perennials and that'll be food that'll just keep coming back year after year after year, without me having to worry too much about it. I'm hoping that you're saying is true, Granny, because this would be the third year for my apple and pear trees. Last year I haven't gotten any pears yet. Last year I got one apple. And yes, last year was the second year. So this will be the third year. So I'm hoping that we'll get some fruit from those. Granny says, I'm really regretting my decision to wait to buy a nectarine tree, but I could have ordered one last fall and I didn't. And now trying to find the specific kind I need for this climate is proving difficult. Yeah, I can see that. I don't have any citrus. We only did the figs, which are in the container, the apple and I got 2 apples and 2 pears because they need for the pollination. Um, 2 apples and 2 pears, and they're in the ground, and they leaf out beautifully and everything, but they're just the fruit is just not there. But for whatever reason, the beetles, is it not Japanese? What are those beetles? Really like just eat all the leaves on my apple tree. They haven't bothered the pear one too much, but man, so I'm like, maybe that's why they're not growing fruit, or maybe it's just not time for them to grow fruit, because I know you got to wait, you know, several years before you get any fruit. But those beetles, that's certainly not helping it any. And just in case you're wondering, Granny, yeah, my coffee is still iced, but there's only 2 little ice cubes in there now. But I don't have it I just have it in a regular mug. I don't have it in one of the temperature ones. Granny says the only 2 trees I want in my yard, other than my persimmon, is a Meyer lemon and a nectarine tree. I might need 2 of each just to get better production and fruit size. I would love a lemon and a lime. I don't think they do good here though. I mean, they sell them at the store, but they sell everything at the store. It doesn't mean it's going to do good in this area. Because I think they would have to be brought inside. I don't know. I was trying to think if um Gail, does Gail have any citrus trees? She had some kind of tree. I don't, maybe it was a citrus tree. Because I was like, I didn't think I could grow that. And Gail's only like an hour from me. Hour and a half, something like that. And it has to be dwarf because I want to grow them all in containers. Great big tree containers. Okay. Satsuma, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Japanese beetles are essentially 2 rose bushes. Spray your apple tree with spinosad. I need to write that down. I'm not even going to put it on a page by itself. I'm going to put it on this mess of my pattern, my chart written down, because that way I won't forget about it. Because I'm going to go ahead and add it to my Amazon cart when I get off of here. spinosad. And then you also told me, let me put on here for tree. Because, you know, well, I spray with the, hmm, you know what I spray with? Why can I not think of it? Every time I'm trying to come up with that. Anyway, I spray it with something and it doesn't seem, I mean, it works, but it doesn't work great for the tree. Spinosad. And but I could spray that on everything. And then you were telling me about something, Captain something. Tell me that again, because I thought I had that, but I don't have that. Lemons will do fine where you're at if you put it in a pot, keep it moist, and in the winter time, put it in your garage to keep it safe from the frost. Yeah, see, I don't like bringing stuff in, but I might, let me write lemon tree on here too, because I look at them every time we go to like Tractor Supply or like Lowe's and Home Depot. I look at them all the time because I'm like, I really would enjoy having one of those. Now that just means move it whenever there's going to be a frost. All the rest of the winter when it's nice outside, 40, 50, 60s, you can. Oh, okay, so only with a frost. See though, like I would forget. Like it would be out there, and if I only brought it in when it was going to be freezing, like I'm pretty sure I would forget. I mean, I could bring it in. Well, no, because we get freezing temperatures for what, like 2 months? She does have citrus trees. Renee says, my mom used to wrap fruit trees in the winter so the frost won't get them. Yeah, I've seen Miss Gill do that. She did that, I think, a couple of months ago. She was out there covering with like grow bags. She was like covering some stuff, and she had like she was just covering a whole bunch of different things. And I'm like, you know, when I think gardening, like that's not like I don't know, like I just don't want to have to worry about like the things out there. Like I want to just have things that can just grow and don't need me to worry about them. In South Florida, where they grow a lot of oranges, what they do to protect their citrus from freezes. Granny, what's the name of that other thing you told me to get? Um, I think it was Captain something. It was some organic spray that's really good at killing the bugs or keeping the bugs away. You said it works good on the what is it, the leaf wooded bug or whatever. Satsuma is one of the best tangerines you'll ever eat in your life. Oh, okay. Neem, yes, neem. Very good, Renee. Yep. So I spray it and it works, but it doesn't work as good as it should, you know? But it probably doesn't help that I probably don't go spray it out there after every rain either. That's what I put out there. But Granny was telling me about, I think it was it's called Captain something. She was telling me about that like a month or two ago. Okay, yeah, Captain Jack's dead bug. I'm gonna order that today because maybe I can get ahead of them and just like, you know, get to grow some things. Captain Brew. Organic, natural, I'm not sure which one. It's been what? A sad as well? Renee says we struggle with grubs and snails here. They will eat everything if you let them go. What do you do for those, Renee? Because we have those here too. They they yeah, they're all over, but they're like really bad on the ground on my berry bushes. BT or Theracide is organic. Yeah, I use BT for chewing insects like. Yeah, I use BT for the borers. You can get all that stuff at the big box stores too, even Walmart. I don't know, I might come home with a lemon tree this weekend. Well, no, because I think we still have freezing temperatures, right? Yeah, my last freeze is not till like 2 or 3 more weeks. But I guess I could buy it at the store, keep it in the garage, right? And then just for like that few weeks and then put it out, maybe. All right, I've been sitting down for almost 2 hours now. This is almost done. I think I finished my coffee. A sip. And then, in my opinion, is the best. Yeah, it is. It is. That's the kind of that I want. Garden Center has some stuff. In the class this last weekend, she told us to use copper tape around pots. Snails won't cross it. You know what? It's worth the try. I'm gonna add that because I've tried well, people say beer, but I don't have beer, so I've done like soda. Probably why it hasn't worked. Copper tape. But you know, they also say that they won't cross over eggshells, and I've put eggshells and I've watched them cross, you know, and imagine it scratches them, but they don't seem to care. Yes, and copper fungicide can help protect against fungal disease. Copper tape. I'll have to look that up. I haven't heard of copper tape. Granny, how big of a pot with the Meyer lemon tree need? So, because I mean, I'll get it from the store, but it'll need to be transplanted, and I'm not going to put it out in the ground, and I'm going to bring it in and out. Like, you think a 20-gallon grow bag, or because I mean, to move it in and out too, it has to be reasonable, you know. Lots of folks keep citrus trees on their patios in pots with a cart underneath them. It's flat with wheels. Well, I definitely wouldn't be able to put it on the back porch because the squirrels would get it. Because they get everything I put back there. And then in the front, it wouldn't have enough sun because it's covered. Well, not on the porch. I guess I could just put it in the front. But how big of a pot do you think? Um, Whatever you get, put it on coasters if you can. Okay. Maria tree on coasters. Okay. I mean, it probably will be small enough now that I can do whatever with it, but it will eventually get bigger. I mean, I know some of them don't get big because you don't get that many freezes. What, 3 to 6? Oh no, we get freezes. It freezes here all the time. Like what kind? Like below 32. You mean all the time? Like, I mean, what did I say today's low is? Like, it's not freezing, but I mean, look what time of year we're in. Like 37, but Friday's gonna be 30. And then I don't know what it was earlier in the week, but it's been, it's been below freezing. We get quite a few. When you use those organic sprays, you have to remember to do it on a schedule and after every rain because it does wash off. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do better. Gotta run. Me too, Renee. I appreciate you being here. See you soon. Have a wonderful and blessed day. All right, I am at a 2 hour mark and I'm gonna go ahead and get up. I just finished my coffee. I finished the last row on that bag. I just have to join it now, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm going to go, I think, work on that bed for a little bit. And then when I come back in from that, I'm going to order some of these things. So thank y'all for being here with me. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day till I see you again. Bye, guys. Bye. Granny, if you want to chat with me, hit me up on Insta. Bye, guys.